Good morning, LinkedIn and YouTube. Very excited to be online right now. I have a great live for you where we are going to be talking about how to be more charismatic at work. This is especially for corporate introverts who realize how important it is to be charismatic so that more people like you at work, you get invited out more, and so that you're able to get asked out more and you can fit in better. So I'm going to teach you all about being more charismatic today. And actually what I'm teaching you today is the 6 C's of charisma that I teach my clients. So if you are interested in knowing what those 6 C's are, so stay tuned then. But before we continue, let me say hi to a couple of you guys. I have a couple of people here. If you are watching this live, do let me know live. And if you are watching the recorded version, please let me know that you are watching the recorded version. We are going to get started in just a few minutes. I just want to make sure everything is working. It looks great. So hope you guys are having an awesome day. And like I said, we've got lots to cover today. I'm going to be going over the 6 C's of charisma. If you think you know what some of them are, drop them in the chat box. I'd love to see what you guys think some of those can be. But before we continue, before anything, do go ahead and sign up for my next live masterclass where I will be teaching you guys how to overcome your fear of public speaking so that you could get promoted much faster, especially if you are an introvert. So all you have to do is go to www.speakatwork.com. Again, that's www.speakatwork.com. You can also go to my LinkedIn profile and you will be able to click the link right in my bio. Okay, very excited for it. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. So let's get started on charisma. Why should we even be charismatic? What is the point of charisma, right? If you know, you know, but I want to tell you anyways. In order for you to be charismatic, and if you are charismatic, people are just drawn to you. So have you ever bumped into someone and you look at them after you speak to them and then you leave and you're like, wow, I really like that person, right? But you don't know why. There's nothing extraordinary about this person. This could be just an average, nothing crazy, but something about that person left some sort of impact on you. What do you think that is? That is charisma working at its finest. Yes, charisma. When someone is charismatic, they just have this charm about them. They have something about their presence that you get so attracted to. And if you are a charismatic person, people are just drawn to you. You don't have to go out there chasing people or the things that you want. They come to you. So today we're going to go over the 6 C's of charisma that you need to start doing in order to have a more magnetic personality, as someone here is saying. Okay, let's talk about the first one. The first one, and I want you to write these down and I want you to start incorporating these into your life right now, okay? The first one, if you want to be a charismatic speaker, if you want to be a charismatic personality, you have to be calm. That's the first C. You have to be calm, okay? What does that mean? That means control your emotions, control your thoughts. That means your body should be in control at all times, right? That means you can't be too crazy. You have to be calm. All right, that's the first C. Let's move on to the second C. And by the way, if you're an introvert, let me know if you can relate to this because I'm like this. I may look so calm from the outside, but inside there's like chaos going on, right? So much chaos. But on the exterior, I look very calm, right? There you go. I see some of you guys saying it out loud, calm. That's the first thing you need to do in order to be a charismatic speaker. And let me know if you can relate to that. If you're an introvert, you feel like you're nice and calm on the outside, but inside there's like so many thoughts going on in your head, so many emotions going crazy, right? So that is the first one. If you can relate to that, let me know. Let's talk about the second one. The second C in order for you to be charismatic is that you need to be collected. Okay, what does that mean? That means your thoughts need to be collected. Your emotions need to be collected. And that's very different from calm. Calm is the way that you feel, right? Collected is more on the way that you think, the things that your ideas that you have in your head, the things that you want to say, they have to be a lot more collected. You have to know what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, right? So when it comes to being collected, it's all up here. Your thoughts, your ideas, everything you need to say needs to be collected. They shouldn't just be coming out at any time. You should know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. And that is going to make you much more charismatic, especially at work. Okay? So we've covered 2 so far, calm and collected. The third C for being more charismatic, especially at work, is, and this one is a hard one for me, and let me know if it's a hard one for you as well. The third C is to be in control. Okay, what does that mean? You have to have control over what you say, what you think, your emotions, right? You can't blurt out anything that you feel at any time. You have to be in control of yourself, of your body, of your thoughts, of your emotions. If you're not in control, you will say whatever you want to say. If you're not in control, you are going to say the wrong thing at the wrong time because you're not evaluating the situation, right? So you need to be in control of yourself. And let me know if any of these are something that you are now going to start doing, right? Are you going to start being more calm now? That means your demeanor, right? That means you're not super loud, you're not super quiet, you're calm, but you're still assertive. Are you going to be more collected? You're going to know in your mind what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, and how you're going to say it. Or are you going to be more in control of your emotions, right? If someone says something at work that makes you angry, you're not going to react right away, right? You're not going to jump in and say, no, that's not right, right? You need to be in control. You need to know how to jump in. You're going to say, okay, I can understand what you're saying. However, I think, right? That's now you being in control of how you feel and what you're saying and what you're doing. You have to be in control. You cannot let any exterior thing come and affect you, right? Charismatic people, if you ever see them, they are so in themselves. They are so aligned with who they are that no one can come in and say, you did this or you did that, and they will react. They don't react, right? They keep it under control. So that is number 3. And before we continue, and for anyone else that is joining us, we are talking about the 6 C's of how you could be more charismatic at work. So far, we've covered calm, collected, and control. You have to have all 3 of these. Also, I do want to let you know that I would love for you to join my next masterclass that is going to be coming up very soon. All you have to do is go to www.speakatwork.com. It's going to be how you can become a better speaker, how you can overcome your fear of public speaking, and ultimately how you can get promoted much faster. So if that is something that you want, if you want to get promoted, if you want to get those raises, then this is going to be especially for you. Don't forget to sign up at www.speakatwork.com. All right, let's continue from here. So we've talked about 3 C's so far, and I have another 3 to go. Okay, based on what I'm telling you right now, there is a little bit of a pattern. So what are you guys thinking? Give me some examples of what else you think another C can be. Right? I have cool mind here. I like that. Okay. That could be a good one. And by the way, why don't you guys give me some examples of who you think is charismatic? I want to give you guys a few examples too, but one person that I really like, I'll give you a male and female, right? So One person that I really like that I think is very charismatic, and let's talk about celebrities. I think Hugh Jackman. He's a very, very charismatic. Anytime you see him speak, he's sitting down, he's relaxed, he's super composed, right? Like someone is saying, Farwa, super composed. He is totally in control of everything that he's saying, and he doesn't ever let anything affect him. So go watch an interview by Hugh Jackman, and you will see charisma working at its finest. Okay. Barack Obama, yes, Barack, extremely charismatic. Have you ever heard him speak? Does he ever go really fast? No, he's in control. He's in control of his tonality. He's in control of his body language. He's very in control of what he is saying, right? I have someone here saying Tom Cruise. Yes, right? Tom Cruise, very, very charismatic. Have you ever seen any of it interviews? Most of the time, he's relaxed and he's just sitting there like this, listening. He's sitting there and he usually has his finger on his chin and he's just listening. Also, charismatic people, they don't say a lot. You guys are going to realize this, right? They don't say a lot, but when they say something, it's a lot more impactful. And that leads us to the next C. Okay, the fourth C of being more charismatic, especially at work, is to be clear. Clear about what you are saying. All right. That means you're not going to say so much, right? You're not going to beat around the bush, right? You're going to be very, very clear about what you mean. All right. Very clear. So what I am trying to say is that you need to be ABCD, or actually that makes sense, but I feel that, again, direct and clear, right? Don't be afraid. Charismatic people are not afraid of what they are thinking. They're not afraid of sharing their opinions, and they're very clear about it. This is why I'm telling you this. The reason that I brought this up, right? You can use all of these transitional phrases when you're trying to be more clear, and they don't talk for hours on end. They say very little, but what they say is very on point. Okay? You have to be clear and you have to speak clearly too. So here's another pointer I'm going to give you in order to be able to speak more clearly. Slow down. Don't rush when you're speaking. When you're rushing, you're just talking too much. And then again, your body follows along. And you see how even me just saying, pretending to talk fast, my body is like, yeah, so I'm just pretending to talk fast. That's no longer charisma. Charismatic people take their time when they're speaking. Charismatic people are very clear about what they are saying. And charismatic people have full control over their tonality also when they are speaking. Okay? So when you're speaking, make sure that you are opening your mouth wide enough so that what you are saying comes out very clearly, right? And you can actually practice that. You can practice that by reading. When you read something, pick up a book, read it. When you're reading, make sure you're not keeping your mouth very closed, right? You're not just reading like this. Exaggerate each word when you're reading it. Exaggerate it, right? Almost to a point where it feels weird to you. But when you put it into practice in real life, it's going to sound much more natural and much better. So you have to be clear. People have to understand you for you to be a charismatic person. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. And the next C, the fifth C that we are talking about today, that is going to make you more charismatic at work, is to be concise. All right. What does that mean? Again, that ties back into charismatic people don't talk so much. When you talk a lot, right? A lot of the times what you end up doing is you start adding in fluff. You start adding in the ums and the uhs, the filler words kick in because you don't even know what you're going to say next because you're just going too fast and there's so much you want to say. Instead, if you are very concise, you take all of this that you have to say, you shrink it down, you bring it here, right? You just say a few sentences. When you speak, people will actually pay more attention then because what you're dropping is important stuff. It's not any fluff. You're very concise about it. Okay? Exactly like one of you guys is saying, you talk less, but then you end up doing more, especially when you do talk. So be very, very concise when you are speaking. All right. So we are going to move on to the last C now of charismatic people. And I want you also to give me more examples of who you think is charismatic, maybe somebody that you know. Let's move away from celebrities. Let's move away from people that are on screen. Look at someone in your own life. Is there someone that you notice at work, maybe a friend or maybe just a colleague, a coworker, a boss, a C-level executive that you feel is very charismatic? If so, who is that person? Okay, I want you to really think hard. Who is that person that's very charismatic at work? And I want you to think about how they speak and what they do, what makes them charismatic, because there are certain things that this person is doing that is making them extremely charismatic. And if you think they are charismatic, chances are a lot of other people also think that this person is charismatic, right? So really ask yourself, think, right? And I bet you anything, they're doing a lot of these things. That person is calm, that person is collected, that person is in full control of their thoughts, their ideas, their emotions, right? They're very clear when they speak. They're also very concise when they're speaking. Okay. And what is the last C now? Let's get into the last C of being a charismatic person, especially at work. And this is the great thing about it, right? You can be a total slob at home. I am a total slob at home. I'm laying down on that couch watching this TV. I'm just like, right? I don't have time or the energy to do all of these things. But when you're at work, you kind of have to, right? You have to put up a little bit of a front. It's great to still be yourself, but you do have to be a more professional version of yourself, right? So let's move on to the last C of being a charismatic person at work. The last C is that you have to be charming. Okay, that's our last C. Number 6 is charming. So how? I don't mean like Prince Charming, right? From fairy tales. That'd be funny though. It's like, you know how every time you watch a Disney show that there's always a Prince Charming. So yes, we can draw from that a little bit, but that's not exactly what I mean. But let's talk about how you can be, okay? Charming people, there's a couple do. The first thing that charming people do is they listen to other people. So if you were talking to someone, right? Most of the time we're just thinking about what am I going to say next? What's the next thing that I want to say? Okay, we did this last time and now I want to say that. You get too much in your head, other person. Charming people, right? And again, if you're following all the 6s, you're calm, collected, control, you're clear, you're concise. And then charming people, they take an interest in you. So they will look at you directly in your eyes and listen, right? And they will nod. Charming people do that. They take a direct interest in you and what you are saying, right? Have you ever liked someone that was rude to you? No, right? So charming people, they're the complete opposite. They're extremely well-mannered, and you have to be well-mannered in order for you to be charming. And charming people, they look at you and they give you that look that, yes, I hear you and I'm listening to you, keep going, right? That's a charming person. Another thing that charming people do is that they thank other people for everything. So they don't take credit for everything that they do. They never sit there and boast about themselves like, yes, I've accomplished this, I've done this, I can do this, I can do that, right? They never sit there and do that. Even if they do, if they say, oh, I've accomplished this, but I'm telling you this because this is how it's going to help you. That's very different, right? Charming people are not very arrogant. Charming people are very, very humble. And charming people want to encourage you. They want to thank you for the part you have played in helping them, right? So that is something charming people do a lot. And look around you, right? All the people that are charming, they never take full credit for everything. They thank their teams. They thank the audience for showing up. And if you're at work, that's the first thing you should be doing. If you're doing a presentation, right? You want to thank people for their time. Time is very valuable. Everyone's time is valuable. So if someone has showed up to watch your presentation, right, you want to thank them. Thank you so much for being here today. That's a charming person, and you have to be genuine about it, right? You can't just fake it, unfortunately. The charm has to come naturally, and it's just by actually taking a keen interest on other people, what their thoughts are, what their opinions are. That's what you need to do. Okay. So, in order to be more charming, you need to thank other people. You need to take an active interest in other people as well. Okay. So, I'm going to do a quick review of all the 6 C's of how you can be more charismatic at work and the things that you need to do. And I want you to start doing at least 2, because once you do 1, it's very easy to do the second one. Once you do the second one, it's very easy to do the third one. But before we continue, I do want to invite you to my next masterclass. All you need to do is go to www.speakatwork.com. If you are someone that really wants to get promoted at work, if you are an introvert, you don't know what to say, how to say, you don't know how to stand out, you don't know how to be charismatic and charming, right? I'm going to teach you a lot of that and how to do that through the way that you speak. So do join me on the next masterclass. It's www.speakatwork.com. Like I said, I only have 100 seats, and then I do cut off after 100. So make sure that you arrive on time, because I do close the doors right on the dot. Okay. I will see you on the next masterclass, speakatwork.com. Let's do a quick review, because I want you stuff before you leave here today. So today we covered the 6 C's of being charismatic at work and what charismatic people do. The first one, if you remember, do comment below in the chat. The first one is you need to be calm. You can't be out of control. You have to be calm. And that means you need to be calm when it comes to your emotions. You need to be calm in terms of your thoughts. You need to have your nervous system be a lot more relaxed. All right. Number 2 is you need to be much more collected. That means with your body and your mind. Your thoughts can't be everywhere. Your hands can't be everywhere. Everything needs to be very in control and around here, right? You don't want things to be too crazy. You have to be collected with your thoughts. And then the third one is that you need to be concise. The third one is that you need to be in control of your emotions, control of your thoughts. You need to know control of your words. You need to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. And again, I'm going to be teaching you a lot of that at my masterclass, speakatwork.com. You need to be in control. You can't just blur out anything you're feeling at any given time. You have to know the right timing of what to say and when to say it. Okay. And then number 4 is you need to be clear. That means people need to hear you properly, right? If you have a very soft voice, like I do, you have to increase the volume a little bit so people can hear you. You have to exaggerate each word as you're speaking, and you can do that by practicing reading. When you're reading, read out loud and exaggerate each word as you speak, just like I did right now. Then we move on to being concise. Number 5, you have to be concise. Don't talk so much. Charming people say very little, but what they say is very to the point. There is no fluff whatsoever. No fluff. Everything that they're saying has a meaning to it, and that's what you need to do in order to be more charismatic at work. Only speak up if you have something valuable to add, okay? Or if you can start a conversation about something by asking good questions, okay? Lastly, you need to be charming. To be more charismatic, you have to be charming. That means taking a keen interest in other people. That could be your colleagues. That could be your boss. If you are on a one-on-one with your boss, they're going to ask you, how's everything going? You're going to say, yeah, everything is good. You're going to fill them in. Also ask them, how are they doing? Right now, it's you taking a keen interest on them, the other person. Don't make everything about you, right? Charming people, or charismatic people, they make things about other people too. And they never take full credibility, or they never say, I am the reason I was able to do this. They always like to give credit to other people as well. I was able to do this because my team is so strong. I was able to do this because everyone on the team was able to help me, and we were able to put together processes and whatnot. You're never going to say, I did this. I'm the best. I'm this. Yes, glorify yourself as well. Say, I achieved A, B, C, and D, but what made it easy for me was I had a strong team, for example, right? Or had a boss that was very helpful and understood my goals and gave me all the opportunities that I needed to achieve those goals. Do you see how that's changed? That's how charming people speak. That's what makes you more charming. You have to give other people credit. All right. So these, again, you guys, were the 6 C's of charismatic people. If you are watching live, let me know live, and also let me know where you are watching in from. I do like to go back after and look at all the comments. So let me know who you are and where you are watching from. I'd love to just kind of get a better idea of where you're joining me from and where this live is reaching, how many people it's reaching, and all of that great stuff. So if you've learned something today, do join me on my next masterclass, www.speakatwork.com, where I'm going to teach you lots of practical things to put this into practice. So where are you dialing in from? I have a couple of people from India. Do let me know. I have some people from the Philippines. Do let me know where you are dialing in from. Very, very happy that you guys were here and that you joined me today. I am doing lives now 3 times a week. I went from 1 to 3, you guys. So I'm really trying to do these as much as I can. And I have some people from Canada, some people from Toronto, Texas, India. Awesome. Keep coming. Keep them coming in, you guys. Germany. Wow. USA. Amazing. So I am going to go back and reply to all of you guys. Thank you so much once again for watching. I hope you learned something today and that you're going to take away at least 2 of the C's, okay? 2 of the C's that you learned today from the 6 C's of charismatic people, and you apply these to work. Again, thank you so much. I will see you guys next time. Bye.